So, ladies and gents, A Quiet Place Part 2. Out. Successful. Clearly successful. Because Paramount have already set a date for a brand new A Quiet Place film. Not necessarily a sequel. In fact, it's thought now that it will not be a sequel and it will be something completely new. Paramount is ready to go. March 31st, 2023. That is a fast-tracked film. Very, very fast-tracked. And it's actually something which had been reported on in the past, which I'll get to the original report of that in a moment. So, it's been in the works for a little while, but they were very clearly waiting and hinging on A Quiet Place Part 2's opening success, if you can call it that. But this is courtesy of Deadline, and they say this is the one that Jeff Nichols is writing and directing, and which Deadline first told you about. It's not a threequel, but rather based on an idea from John Krasinski. Please God be the army fighting them. I would love to see that. I'd love to see it. Now the pick is in very early development and simply being billed as the next installment, broadening the post-apocalyptic world introduced in the first two movies. Okay, cool. Not that early development though, because this was actually first reported on way back in November of last year. So it's not that early development. They are moving it ahead nicely, and they've already set a date for it. So I think this is moving ahead a lot quicker and is a bit further in development than we're led to believe here. Now, Quiet Place Part 2, which opened over the Memorial Day weekend and also was released on a bank holiday weekend in the UK. So it crossed there, and then I think it has its first opening weekend this weekend, official opening weekend this weekend in the UK. Has actually done really well. Really well. So domestic box office smashed it. It's 57 million 4-day opening domestically. That's great. That's really good. So Paramount would have looked at this and gone, yeah, of course, put the next one in. Do it. Sign it up. All the way to the bank. Let's go. So that makes perfect sense. It absolutely makes perfect sense. Now the pick posted a first week of 69.1 million stateside, which is 3% ahead of the first A Quiet Place at the same point in time. So it's done really well. Like, I really enjoyed A Quiet Place Part 2, but I really enjoyed the first one. And in my review, I think I said, look, if you didn't like the first one, you won't like the second. It's more of the same, but it's not. It does expand it outwards. I am a little bit dismayed, that this is not going to be written and directed by John Krasinski, because he's smashed it. He really smashed it. A Quiet Place Part 2, I think, had really good direction, better direction now that John Krasinski wasn't doing double stuff. Because I think he did some of the directing in the first one, if I remember rightly. But he obviously starred in the first one as well. So it would have been difficult. And I think he did really well in the second film doing that. But here's the initial reports that came out, because this is important to see from when it started to where we are now. So this is back in November of 2020, but Paramount Pictures is broadening its A Quiet Place franchise. The studio has set Jeff Nichols to write and direct the third film, which is based on an original idea by John Krasinski. Studio has set a 2022 release date, but obviously, pandemic, so that's fine. Krasinski co-wrote and directed the original, and wrote and directed the sequel. So again, it's a shame that he's not coming back, but I don't know, hopefully he hasn't. Did Paramount buy the rights to Hook, Line and Sinker? Maybe. I don't know. I still think it's a shame that he's not coming back, because I think Krasinski's good in this. I think he's very good. But anyway, obviously that's come out now. They're keeping details of the new plot under wraps, but this is Deadline's first report on it. It would not be surprising if this was not a straight sequel, but rather broadened the world that the original introduced, plopping viewers in a post-apocalyptic world where survivors are struggling to stay alive by being quiet, as monsters with ultra-sensitive hearing hunt them. The movie progressed so quickly you barely had time to ask how the world got that way and whether the creatures might be defeated. So there's plenty of room creatively to stretch this out. I don't like that, creatively stretching things out. I think that's creative bankruptcy at that point. I don't like that. But it is interesting that they were positing that it wasn't going to be a sequel or anything like that, and it would just be like a a distant, like an anthology story, I guess you could say. But Nichols seems a fine filmmaker to do this, while his films that range from Midnight Special, Take Shelter, Mud and Loving, which got an Oscar nomination for co-star Ruth Negga, were from original scripts he wrote. Nichols developed a relationship with Paramount Motion Picture Group president Emma Watts as they developed a multi-film adaptation of Alien Nation, which stalled when Disney acquired Fox. Now this is the downside, but there's no update on this, right? The downside is Michael Bay, that's the name there, Andrew Form and Brad Fuller will produce via Platinum Dunes. That's what makes me think it's probably going to be Army based. Did Michael Bay produce the first ones? I don't know if he did. Did he? I don't know if he did. Did he? I mean, he's there. He's there at the red carpet, so maybe he did produce it. I really hope maybe he did. Maybe he did. The problem is that Michael Bay, as a producer, if he has creative control, is real bad. Real bad. Real bad. No one cares. No one wants to see him. Yeah, the first one was produced by Michael Bay. So that's not terrible then. That's not a terrible sign. I was thinking, ultimately, hey, if Michael Bay is the producer on this third one, it's going to be, you know, splash bang, wallop, loads of Army crap. And just garbage, basically. And FYI, I want it to be an Army film. I actually think that would be really, really interesting to show how literally Earth's forces were defeated by a bunch of aliens that just fell on the planet. Because that's a fascinating story to unfold. They'll either do it really, really well, or it will come across terribly. But the bottom line is, I would like to see that, but not if it's Michael Bay infused. And so I saw this as the original piece of news and I was like, that's bad. But if he's the producer on the first one, that's not so bad at all. That's really not so bad. I was just, yeah, I stand corrected, ladies and gents. I stand corrected. But what do you guys think? Look, A Quiet Place Part 3, are you for it? Are you against it? I think there'll be a lot of people sitting middle down the line. People will be going out to watch it this weekend in other parts of the world. But were you there opening weekend in stateside? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Are you ready for a third film away from the Abbott family? I think that's what they're called, the Abbott family. Let me know down below in the comment section if you are new here and you stayed this long. You clearly enjoyed the video, so please do hit that thumbs up button. It really does help the channel out. Please do hit subscribe, because again, you clearly like the content, you stayed this long. For returning subscribers, please do check you're subscribed, hit that thumbs up button, and if you want to follow me elsewhere, guys, I am available on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Reviews, and I have a second channel linked in the description box where I work on rebuilding vehicles. Very rare, very unusual JDM legends, like an R32 GTR Skyline, Nissan Pulsar GTI-R, and Zeds and trucks and all this good stuff. Cheers, take care.